Okay, guys, we're going to get started. Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of sales training with Richie Palladino, who is me. Those who don't know me, I've been with the company. It's going to be 20 years this year. I can't believe how fast 20 years actually goes by. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Just give me a shout out if you can hear me. You guys okay? The volume okay?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Basically, what I want to do tonight, I want to go over basically a new training. I usually teach a Create 21 class. What I basically do, what I've been doing over the last couple of days is putting some new and exciting slides and everything together for everybody, especially those who are just getting started within the Century 21 Northeast Network. I want to give you some important things that you could be working on in this coming winter months to get ready for the spring market. Hopefully I can give you some insight and some knowledge that'll take your business to another level. And I'm all excited about what I'm about to share with you tonight. Remember, if you got any questions at all as we go through this, some of these slides and some of these discussions, remember, I don't want it to be so much of a monologue tonight. I'd rather it be a dialogue. If you do have any questions pertaining to what you need to do or some of the tools that are out there that Century 21 Northeast can actually provide to you, please let me know. You don't have to, I'm not going to put everybody on mute right now unless I hear some background noise or whatever. But I want, please don't hesitate to ask me anything. There's a bunch of people that are on this network tonight. A lot of people with some great experience. Some people have been through the pipeline of real estate, and they can kind of give you a little bit of more insight than actually I can. So with that in mind, I want to kind of go over a couple different things with you tonight. And let me get my slides all squared away. Hold on one second. I'm going to stop my presentation here. Put some glasses in a minute. Okay, so let's talk about a couple different things as we get started in real estate, or those who've been in real estate for a while. These are, I get a bunch of different quotes that I added into these segments. The characteristics of top producers and top earners. Obviously, is success. Successful people are simply those with successful habits. Now, remember, as you guys are getting into your real estate offices that are out there right now, you're going to find three different calibers of people that are in your office. You're going to find the producers. I mean, those are the ones that you want to stick with. Those are the ones that are in the office that are grinding things out right now, that are calling people, that are sending mailers out. They're trying to get a jump start on the industry right now, especially when the spring market comes, all right? So those are the types of people, especially if you're going to be that type of person that's going to come in on a part-time basis, but more importantly, that you want to make some money. There's going to be people that are in your office that are going to take it and remember, don't take this in a personal way if you're one of those people, but there's some people in your office that take this as a recreational job, that come and go as they please. If they do one deal a year, well, that's completely all right with them. And then you got the people that are doing, maybe a handful of deals, that have something else going on in their life. Maybe a husband or a wife that's working and they're not going to overexert themselves. The question you want to ask yourself, guys, when you get into real estate is, which one do you want to be? Do you want to be in categories 1, 2, or 3? When I first started the business many years ago, back in 1999, I went up to my manager and I said to my manager, listen, I want to know who the top producer is in the company. And this was my mindset, even though I was a part-time agent, right? She told me who the top producer was. And then basically what we did is we went into her office and we set some goals. And she asked me what my goal was going to be. And I'll tell you exactly how the conversation went, and maybe you can relate to this, right? Because I was a guy 34 years old that been through every job that you can imagine in corporate America. I climbed up the ladder in different companies, working 9 to 5, and always got laid off. I had a family back in 1999. I was going through a nasty divorce. I had children. I was looking for a change. I wanted to be successful. So I got my real estate license from someone who said, you know, Richie, you might be good in real estate. You know, it might be something that, you know, you might be able to make some money with. When I first got my license, I was petrified. You know, saw a lot of people that were driving nice cars, had nice houses and everything. And, you know, and I was a typical guy that, you know, drove at that time in 1987. And I bet you never even heard of this. I had a Chevy Celebrity. I mean, this was a car that was old. When I closed the door, the rust was falling off on the doors. I started to work as a Revere guy in the Linfield area. Those of you who are in Massachusetts know, if you go to Revere to Linfield, it's like going from God. It's like being in the slums up until the you know, up into the ritzy area, and I basically started out in that particular office. So what I'm trying to get at is, you know, I was a fish out of water. And I went into the office and I found out who the top producer was. And I went into my manager, and the top producer at that time was a good friend of mine. She was doing so great, you know, for like 8 years in a row. She was making $250,000. And my manager asked me, he said, you know, did you set a goal for yourself? And I said, yeah. And I said, I want to, you know, I want to make $125,000 a year. And she looked at me and she said, I thought you wanted to be the top producer in the company. And I looked straight at her and I says, well, I can never be the top producer in the company, at least not right now. But if I can be half as good as the top producer in the company, that would set me on a pace of making $125,000. And guys, years ago, when I was only making $40,000 a year, going way back to 1999, if I could make 125, this was like going to better my whole life. And what happened was she looked at me in a different way and she says, wow, that's unbelievable philosophy. You want to be half as good as the top producer. I said, yeah. I said, that's my goal. So what I did is I put a goal together. I put a business plan together in the first year, and I say it in a good way. I made $127,000 my first year in 1999 into 2000. So I say that in a good way because you need to have, if you want to be successful in real estate, you got to eat, think, drink, talk real estate. But that's the best way that you can be successful, is hang around successful people. All right. And remember, you'll see the 3 categories of people in your office. Which one do you want to be? Now, listen, the hardest part, if you look on the screen right now, right, the hardest part about real estate is showing up. What I put down is don't just be physical presence. Be mentally and emotionally present as well. Being present probably means take control over your daily schedule and ensuring you have proper rest and nutrition. 80% of success is showing up. All right. I remember mentoring people. All right. And I still do that today. I mentor anywhere from 8 to 10 people today. And I feel bad for a lot of people who drag themselves into the offices, right, at nighttime, and they're physically exhausted from their day job. And I had a good friend of mine who came into real estate probably 3 or 4 years
Don't get up. I'll see myself out.
And this guy actually wanted to be so successful. All right. But what was happening is every time at nighttime he would drag himself into the office. All right. He wasn't there mentally and emotionally. He was not there. He was so beat down that this business wasn't for him. But, you know, if you show up, all right, you're going to beat most of the people, you know, to the punch. You're going to, you know, that's half the battle. But your mind and your emotion has to be there when you're doing real estate. Okay, that's so important. Okay, I want to move on here. Here we go. Follow up. This is another key to a lot of things that's going to make you a successful real estate agent, guys. Okay, what it says as far as follow up is concerned. Follow up relentlessly and professionally, as well as tell our students, use fast and furious lead follow-up. Remember, when it comes to follow-up, the faster you respond to incoming inquiries, the more likely you are to get the sale. That's just a fact. Guys, when you get into real estate and someone calls you, you got to get on the phone, you got to text, you got to email, whatever it actually takes. You got to follow up with these people right away. I'm going to give you some statistics, and I can only give you statistics in Massachusetts. There are 87,000 licensed real estate agents in Massachusetts. That's the bad news. The good news is there's only 27,000 actively practicing, which means the 27,000 that are practicing want you not to follow up. Because when you don't follow up, they're going to take advantage of this, and they're going to get their clients, whether it's buyers or sellers, before you. Follow up, guys, is so very, very important. Be versatile. Be able to say yes in various situations while working with a variety of people, not just those who you hit it off with. You can learn more about this by studying the personality types and working on your scripts and objection handlers to be able to deal with how different personality styles communicate. You got to be able, guys, to deal with everybody in real estate. You know, the ones that got even the worst personalities, the ones that, that are having a bad day. But you have to be different. You always got to be upbeat. You always got to be positive. You got to work on your self-esteem first before you can pass it on to other people. But you're going to deal with every walk of life out there. They are your lifeline. Those are the people that you want to work with. You got to be creative in your solutions. Don't ever give up. Rigidly costs you money, so learn to be a master of the art of the deal. Don't give up. You guys who are just new in this real estate business that are out there right now, and let's just say maybe you've been at it for 6 months or whatever, and things ain't happening the way they want them to, the way you want them to happen. Don't give up. You got to give this time. Guys, you cannot compare with people in your office. If you look at other people that are just coming into the business, right, and that, maybe they're doing better than you right now, all right, and you say, this isn't for me. Maybe I should just go find a 9-to-5 job out there. You got to give real estate enough time, all right? But here's the thing that's very important. You can't put one foot in very daintily in real estate. You got to put 2 feet in. You got to give it 150% of your time to make it work. That's important when you get out there. Recognize that repetitious boredom pays off. Here's a good thing by Gandhi that I got, right? Keep in mind that it really pays off on the schedule that you put it to. But if you're taking the right actions in the proper order, then you're putting money in the bank for future success. So you got to stick with it. Gandhi says, monotony is the law of nature. Look at the monotonous manner in which the sun rises. The monotony of necessary occupation is exhilarating and life-giving. Makes a great quote. Never practice self-agency. It says the more people you help, the wealthier you will become. You have to understand that in real estate. Stick with your mindset of service and always stay focused on how you can be of the most service at the highest levels to others. Good people to learn by is Zig Ziglar, got some great books out there. Brian Tracy, they all get some great books on self-agency. I love this slide that you're looking at. Be the best at what matters. Make the commitment to be the best at things that make you money in real estate. This is what's going to make you money in real estate, guys. Lead generation, lead follow-up, presenting, negotiating, and closing. Get great at those things. The rest fall into place. That's all real estate is all about, is what you see here. okay? Generating, presenting, negotiating, closing. That is a key to being successful. You cannot accept mediocrity from yourself, your assistant, your team, or your office. Always strive to perform at your best. Always challenge yourself and your team to perform at the highest levels possible. Guys, you don't want to be mediocre. You want to be extraordinary, all right? You want to be the best. When I go on appointments out there and people say, well, Richie, why are you charging 5% where the competitors are charging 4%? I say, because I'm the best there is out there, and I'm going to prove it to you by selling your house right away. You gotta feel it inside of you. You gotta be strong. You can't be average and ordinary. That's not going to get you ahead in real estate. It says adopt the best practices versus reinventing the wheel. There's always a lot of change, new ideas, emerging technology in real estate, but the fundamentals of sales profession haven't changed in a very long time. Seek out models of success and emulate them where you can. In real estate, they abound. From experience, we can tell you that today's top producers all employ lessons from yesterday's pioneers. Guys, what does that mean? It means that we can't reinvent the wheel. Houses sell themselves out there, okay? The only thing you can do is keep up with technology, okay? You have to keep up with technology. I'll tell you a quick story about me. Back in 1999, cell phones weren't big, right? We had, I don't know if I'll probably date myself. I'm 50 years old, but you know what? You know what I used to have, which was big for me? It was called a pager or a beeper. You guys remember those? Pagers and beepers, okay? I would be driving, okay, and my beeper and pager would go off, and I would pull over to the side when I was doing real estate. And there used to be a funny-looking booth. Do you know what those were? Those were the pay phones. There was a phone booth. I used to have a roll of dimes in my car. Put the dimes in, call whoever called me on the beeper, all right? This is how I started off. And then as technology got better, my pager or my beeper went to a scrolling pager and a beeper that it now scrolled the message across. And those pay phones now what used to be a dime went up to 25 cents. And then I was a big shot as technology got bigger in the 2000s. I had a bag phone. Those of you remember what the bag phones were in cars? I was a big shot. I had a bag phone. And then, and the point I'm trying to make is after the bag phones, it went to the flip phones. After the flip phones, it went to the Blackberries. After the Blackberries, it went to the iPhones. After the iPhones, it's the tablets and the laptops and the Mac. You see where I'm going with this? You got to keep up with technology. But as far as house sales are concerned, houses sell themselves. When you walk through the doorstep of a house, right, when you were first buying, you didn't need a real estate agent to point out hardwood floors or recessed lighting or granite countertops. You need that real estate agent to what? To keep the deals together. That's what we're there for. We can't reinvent the wheel, but we have to keep up with technology. Emails, all right? Text messaging, all right? These are big. Emails will be obsolete before you know it. You know what it's going to be replaced by? Text messaging. You know that's coming down. If you guys don't text today, you got to learn how to text. If you guys can't email in a fast notion, get back to people in a quick way, you're going to have to learn how. That's how the industry is progressing out there. Great movie that everybody in here should watch. It's called Glenn Ross, Glenn Gary. It's a sales movie. They use these terms, ABC. You know what ABC means? Always be closing when we're talking to people. ABC will always be closing. Closing for the appointment, the sale, the contract. the fact that someone has given you their attention is a good indicator of interest. Now follow up with the decision and the action. A, B, C's, guys, you got to always be closing. Focus. Follow one path until successful. Yes, you'll need to refine your skills over time, but don't just change focus all the time, or you'll never have given any of your strategies enough time and effort to determine whether it's working for you. Guys, there's so many things you can work on right now in today's market. You can work on FSBOs or expires or foreclosed property. You're working with investors and buyers and sellers or whatever. There's so many things you could be doing. Focus on something that works. When I first started this business in 1999, I didn't have a marketplace. I focused on for sale by owners and became very successful marketing those and selling those. That's what my niche was. You guys out there gotta find your niche. Be committed to your practice. Don't have one foot in and one out. As long as you're holding back, then you'll never be entirely investing your time, effort, into truly being successful. There is no try in real estate. Only do or do not. You can't turn around and say, I'm gonna try it. I'll try it for 6 months. You can't. You guys got to get excited about getting in there. All right? Putting both feet in. Go at it. You can't be crying out there saying, this business is too hard for me. All right? If it was easy, everybody be doing it. Every day is a challenge. I'm 54 years old. I started at 34. 20 years. There's no such thing as an easy deal. Let's just face it. If you've had every deal easy, I want your marketplace. Okay? It's not gonna happen. You're gonna wake up one morning and things are gonna turn to crap. But you know something? Go to sleep, because the next day you're gonna have a day of enjoyment. That's real. That's why I love real estate. Every day is different. Do not take it personally, guys. Don't take this business personally. Go at it and just get after it. But you got to understand that there are going to be times that you're going to hate to be a real estate agent. All right? But hopefully the good things outweigh the bad things. Here's a big pet peeve for me and a lot of people. Answer your phone. Be ready and available to serve your customers when they reach out to you. Not hiding from their calls or always unavailable. If you want to be successful, you got to pick up the phone. If everyone who attempts to reach you always gets your voicemail, they're going to think you're not interested or you're simply too busy to help them. That's a recipe for disaster. You know that. So learn how to pick up when someone calls. Those of you who work behind the desk all your life, well, guess what? You got to talk to people now, guys. You got to talk to people. You got to pick up your phone. You know that when you're in your offices and everything like that, time, that phone dials out too. Despite people not calling you, talk. You start talking to people, you're going to get better and better and better at real estate. Don't be that secret agent. Don't be ashamed of being a real estate agent. There's not anybody on this network today that should be ashamed of being a real estate agent. Proudly tell others what you do, how you help people, and how you can help them. Use your profession as a conversation starter. You should be surprised at how many deals appear naturally from conversations as you learn to share confidently with others while you love helping them with real estate sales. Don't ever be afraid to be a real estate agent. Guys, we make a lot of money, okay? We definitely make a lot of money. I'm just going to mute you guys for a minute, okay? I apologize. I'm getting some background noise. But Be an agent that gets there, that's proud of who you are. Okay? Time kills deals. Don't give a hot prospect time to cool down. You never know what can change in someone's situation, either their job, a new baby, divorce, credit score change, buy new car, finds another agent. It's up to you to create a sense of urgency. If someone says they want to buy, you should be all over it, guys. You can't say, oh, the market's soft, there's nothing out there. Go find them something. If you're working with a buyer, go knock on doors to try to get them the right house they're looking for. But the longer it takes you to find them a house, the more they can check out of this, check out of working with you. So time kills deals. Do what you don't want to do, especially when you don't want to. Okay? I know right now it's so easy to say, hey, it's the winter time. I'm going to hibernate right now. I'm going to wait till the weather gets better. I'm not going to walk the pavement. I'm not going to knock on doors. I'm not going to pass my flyers out. It's so easy to make up excuses. You cannot be like that. All right? You gotta get out of your comfort zone. If you don't like to talk to people, well, you got to start talking to people. Okay? If you don't like sending mailers out, you got to start sending mailers out. If you don't like cold calling, you got to start cold calling. You got to do the things you don't want to do to become successful only temporarily. Guys, have fun. Don't take yourself or anything else so seriously that you can't enjoy yourself. This business, you got to have fun. It can't be a stressful business, even though it is sometimes, but you got to have fun. You got to want to be involved in real estate. You got to want to be excited about real estate, especially about where you're going. You look at Charlie Chaplin says, a day without laughter is a day wasted. Laugh. Enjoy your family. Get them involved. Don't block anybody out. Laugh once in a while. It's always good to laugh. It's always good to go to bed watching something funny. As opposed to, a strenuous lifestyle we have out there in real estate. But you got to have fun at this, all right, to make it work. One of the biggest things I want to dwell on tonight with you guys is setting goals for yourself. You got to have a goal in 2019, okay? Now, there's four crucial elements for success, okay? Why? There's a goal, there's a plan, and there's a promise. Let's go through some of them. What's your why? Okay? Finding your reason why is the first step to finding success. Why are you doing real estate? Why do you want to do real estate? You got to figure that out. Why? Write down your whys. If you want to earn extra income, you want to retire someday, you want to have a plan B, you want to have more balance in your life, you want to get rid of daycare costs, you want financial freedom, you want your children's future, and you want to pay off debt. These could all be the reasons why you do real estate. Write down what yours is. Now, you got to have SMART goals because the word SMART has a meaning. The S means specific. The M means the goals have to be measurable. The A means they have to be attainable. The R means they have to be relevant. And the T means they have to be time-based. That's what the word SMART goals mean. You got to be realistic with your goals. Write down your goals and be specific. Tell someone your goals. Visualize the results. Reward yourself for success. A lot of you have heard my way about goals. If you know me from years ago, I was a single dad for my ex-wife had passed away come 10 years ago. So I got my children full custody of them when they were 9. My daughter was 9, and my boys were 13 and 15 at that time. And when I was divorced, they kind of resented me for being a real estate agent because I didn't spend, supposedly my ex-wife had said that I didn't spend enough time with them. And, all those things you go through about a bad divorce. So I remember finally having them on a full time after their mother had passed. And I sat down with, I said, listen, I have to have more of a family type of goal, more than, materialistic things, which I was putting that down on paper. So I remember my daughter was 9 at the time, and we sat down on New Year's Eve, and we wrote out a family goal for that particular year. And my goal, when I sat down with them, was to take my 3 children to Disney World, and for them to all bring a friend. And we were going to go for Christmas all the way through New Year's. And, when I presented that to them and we decided to do that on New Year's Eve, the light went off in my kids' eyes, and they were so excited because, we went to Disney World when I was married when they were very little, so they didn't remember it too much. But to actually go when they were 9, 13, or 15 is actually a good age to go where they'll remember it. But they were allowed to take a friend. And what we did is my whole family, we put the goals down on paper, and we also printed up visual goals. And we were going to go to Disney World. So we had pictures of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and, the Magic Kingdom and Goofy and Donald and so on. And we printed up these on Christmas, on New Year's Eve, and we posted these all around the house. I think we posted them on the refrigerator, on the mirrors in the bathroom, everywhere. So every time that I woke up in the morning, there was a picture of my goal, okay? And you'd be surprised, especially kids at a young age, especially my daughter who was 9. As we went through the year, my daughter would be pecking at me. And if you want someone to hold you accountable, just have them help you with your goals, because every morning my daughter would say, Dad, how are we doing with the goal? Are we going to go? Are we going to go? We got to go. I got to invite a friend. I don't want to say we're not going. How are you doing? Are you getting there? You making money? What are you doing? What are you doing? This happened the whole year. And if anybody wanted to hold you accountable, your family did. And, at the course of the end of that year, I was able to take the whole family to Disney World, and they had the time of their life. And actually, I've been taking them there just about every year, even though when they're older, and just creating memories. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you don't create goals and write them down, guys, right, and then have someone hold you accountable, what's the sense of having a goal? What's the sense of not having a goal? You need something to shoot for. And now your goals could be material. They could be a number, a dollar value. They could be, they could be a trip. They could be a car. They could be just family time. Whatever it actually takes. But you got to have a goal. It's 2019. You're only 10 days into the year. You need to put some goals down on paper. You need to give them to your manager, give them to your wife, your significant other, whoever, your spouse, your kids, and have them help you achieve those goals. It's important. Let's just say your goal was $100,000, and let's just say it was in 2017. We're in 2019 right now, all right? So you got to break it down. It's very important to break down, how am I going to make $100,000? In this situation, you got to close 22 deals. You got to get 7 appointments every month. You must have 10 contacts each day. In order to do that, you got to have a daily schedule. The most important thing you can do in business is to create a daily productivity centered schedule. That's what you need to do. Here's a little saying, eat that frog, how to stop procrastination and get more done in less time. Now, what does a schedule need to look like? This is what it needs to look like. On Mondays, it depends on how many hours you're going to put in. It says a goal without a plan is just a wish, okay? Let's say on Mondays at 8:15 and 9:15, look, this is spelled out for you. Call expires. 9:15 and 9:30, you're going to take a break. 9:30 to 10:30, you're going to call FSBOs. 10:30 to 11:30, you're going to follow up. 11:30 to 12, you're going to post 5 Craigslist ads. 12 to 1. You're going to prepare for an open house. Tuesday, you're going to do this. Wednesday, you're going to do this. Thursday, so on. Friday, you got to have that down. You can have results or you can have excuses. Not both of them. Because I said I would, make yourself a promise. Write down your promise to yourself. That is so important when you're doing real estate. You never know how close you are. Never give up on your dreams. And in order to do that, you got to have some goals. It says success occurs when your dreams get bigger than your excuses. That's a great saying. Now, here's a couple things that I put together for you as far as scripts are concerned. Okay? This is a SOI. Those of you who don't know what SOI means, that's a sphere of influence script. Okay? Guys, you got to get better at the phones. You'll beat 90% of the industry if you can master the phone. Only 10% is only working the phones. The other 90% is sending mailers and everything out. Get on the phone. Make the phone calls. Here's a sphere of influence script. What a sphere of influence is the warm market. Hi, this is Richie Palladino. This is Richie. How are you? I have a question for you. Do you have a minute? I'm just calling to let you know that I'm now officially a real estate agent with Century 21 Northeast. I need your help, uncle, auntie. Who do you know that needs to buy or sell real estate? Can you think of anyone in your church group, family, neighborhood, office that may need my services at this time? Would you mind if I gave them a call? By the way, when do you plan on moving? Simple. These are people that you know and that you care about. Pick up the phone. Here's an update your database script. You're calling people you know again. All right, let's say you got people in your database that are searching for houses. All right, but they haven't found anything yet. You said, hi, this is Richie. How you doing today? I have a question for you. Do you have a minute? I'm just calling to let you know that I'm now officially a real estate agent with Century 21 Northeast. I need your help. I'm updating my database, and I realized I do not have your home address. Can I get that from you? Thanks. By the way, if you were buying or selling real estate and knew someone who was, am I an agent you would refer them to? Do you know anybody right now? Another script that you can use. This is your tech cheat sheet. Okay? These are some of the places that are important for you to get your name out there. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, hashtags, Pinterest, Instagram, Snapchat, Real Satisfied, Realtor, Zillow, Trulia, Biz, Google Business, Facebook, all this stuff. Guys, you got to get your word out there that you're in the real estate business. Do you know anybody? Here's some Facebook tips.
Oh, yeah? Down.
Oh, who's that? John? Got to mute you for a minute. Some Facebook tips that I added in there. The status post, I have some clients that are looking to purchase a new home, but we have not found anything yet. My clients need to close in less than 30 days. If you're anybody else, considering selling, please let me know. Get your ads out there on Facebook, okay? These are some things that I added in Facebook. You can put your own personal ads in there if you wanted to. I don't really want to go into that much in there, but if you need those slides, I can send them to you. Here's what you should be doing immediately right now. Compile a list of 100 names and phone numbers. Does it have to be 100? No, you should know 100 people. Set some short-term and long-term goals. Use a cheat sheet to create online presence. Create a daily schedule. Memorize prospecting scripts and start creating Craigslist ads. Now, if you're working with sellers, guys, which let me tell you something, if you ask some of the top producers in Century 21 Northeast and around New England, all right, a lot of them work with sellers. The sellers agents make the most money. So what do you got to focus on if you're working with the sellers? Well, you got to generate a seller lead generation. What are some of your lead sources? Well, how would you generate getting seller leads? Well, your sphere of influence, your referrals, anybody looking to sell right now. You can get leads from expires. You should be calling expired leads up, sending them letters. These are people that want to sell, but their last real estate agent didn't do the job. For sale by owners, another source that you can get leads through. When you list property, you want to send just listed cards out. Where do you get them? You can get them through Vistaprint. Okay? You can get them through Express Docs. These are some sites that we use. All right? Why are you sending just listed cards out? Because you're going to hit the neighbors. You're going to hit the people around that area. And you never know if any of those neighbors want to sell, or any of those neighbors have relatives that want to move into the area. When you sell property, guys, you want to send just sold cards out to the neighbors. What are just sold cards? Letting them know how much you sold it for. Letting them know you did sell 2 doors down. Letting them know you're the best agent on that street. You're the designated agent on that street. Remember that term I told you to use? You are the designated agent on that street, and you sold that house. If they do want to sell, they need to go through you. When you're dealing with your center of influence, your friends, your family, you got to create a list. Who's on that list? Everybody you know. Anyone you would buy. I screwed that one up. Sorry. Add to the list daily. You got to add your friends, your networking, your business contacts, your incoming leads. This is how you get started. Prepare a list of 100 friends and acquaintances with addresses and phone numbers. Handwrite or type a list of everyone you know or you may know. Do it tonight. No feeling, no excuses. Do or do not. There is no trying. Get it done. That's a start. Your sphere of influence is number 1. Agents do more business from their sphere. From their sphere than any other lead. Now, this is just a list of the people that are at your center of your influence. If you can't think of anybody, think of your accountant, your advertising, your aerobics instructor, airlines people, alarm system people, animal vets, apartment landlords, appraisers, architect, anybody that you can think of. You put them down on your list and you introduce yourself to them. Here's your script. Hi, this is Richie. How are you? I have a question for you. Do you have a minute? I'm updating my database. I realize I do not have your home address. Can I get that from you? By the way, if you were buying or selling real estate or knew someone who was, am I a real estate agent you refer them to? Do you know anybody right now? Very simple. Simple. Make that phone call. They know you. Expires. What do you need to know about expires? They're already using a realtor. There's no convincing them they need to sell. The house is on the market. It's ready to show or was on the market. They really need to sell. There's a time crunch. Just needs to meet you. Okay? Expires. Get in front of them, guys. This will generate seller leads. It's like picking money, picking dollars off a tree. Here's your expired script. Hello, my name is Richie. I'm with Century 21 Northeast. It says Northside, sorry. Northeast, how are you? Reason I'm calling is that I noticed your listing expired today and would like to apply for the job of getting it sold for you. So it says you may get some objections here. If so, acknowledge, emphasize them, and move on to the rest. There are 3 reasons a home will sit on the market this long and not sell. If it is priced right, in good condition, it must be that it needs better marketing. I have a super aggressive marketing plan that I would like to share with you at your convenience. Of course, I'm sure you're going to want to get your home back on the market as soon as possible, so I can arrange to meet with you this afternoon or later this evening, whichever works better for you. Okay? This is just a simple script, guys, that you can use for expires. If you need a more elaborate script, I do have them. Email me. I'll send you some more scripts for expires. Another way that you can get your name out there, all right? Objection handling. When you're meeting, when you're talking expires, I can meet you at 3 or 5, whichever works better for you. Give me 15 minutes of your time. You can add these into your scripts. If I sold your home in the next 30 days, would that cause me would that cause of a problem for you? Are you familiar with the techniques I use to sell homes? When would be the best time to show you? Today at 3? Or would 5 be better? These are just different ways that you to get your foot in the door. Expired prospecting. I put some things in there. A lot of people, when they're trying to find numbers, they use people are using Red X today. We use the Kohl's Realty directory. I use Been Verified, wherever it takes to find some numbers. This is what you need to do. This is just an aggressive marketing strategy that you can use every day. This one says, download the numbers, call every lead before 10 a.m., make notes on each expired that was not reached. If a voicemail, call back later. If no answer, make plans to visit the home. If disconnected, make plans to visit the home. This is just getting very aggressive. Place unreached leads with phone numbers in a stack to be called later. Handpick 10 expires you would like to list according to the price and location. Hand address 10 envelopes. Mail expired letters. Pick 5 expires to visit based on the price. Visit each of the 5 between 6 and 7 p.m. Go to the door, knock and speak to the seller. Offer to be the solution to the problem. Gather all unreached leads with phone numbers and call them before 9 p.m. Place all unreached leads with phone numbers to call with new leads tomorrow. And this is consistent cycle: calls, letters, visits, calls. This is what we need to do to be aggressive. Talks about the mailers too. If you're dealing with for sale by owners, look at this statistic. 90% of all for sale by owners will end up listing with an agent. They're out there, guys. 5% of the agent populations say they work FSBOs. There's only 5% that are working them. That's good odds for us. When you think of a FSBO, think of someone testing you to see how aggressive you are. Most FSBOs eventually list with an agent. Usually the agent who works the hardest gets the listing. You may have to go back to the FSBO 5 or 6 times before you get contracts signed. Keep in mind that most agents stop after 1 to 2 contacts. That's true. Hang in there, be the most persistent, follow up. This is critical. Don't give up. I'll have classes this coming month on for sale by owners and expires to get into a little bit more detail for you in following up with these people. This is just a quick expired for sale by owner script. May I speak with the owner of the home for sale, please? This is the owner. This is Richie with Century 21. Tell me, have you sold your home yet? No, we haven't sold it yet, and we are not listing with an agent. I understand that. Let me ask you this. Are you cooperating with real estate agents? By that, I mean if an agent brought you a qualified buyer at a price acceptable to you, would you be willing to pay at least a partial commission? Well, we might pay a couple percent. Great. My office is currently working with a lot of qualified buyers. And over the years, we have sold a lot of for sale by owner homes on a partial commission basis. What I need to do is stop by here and take a quick look to see if it matches up with the needs of any of our current buyers. It only take 10 or 15 minutes. I will be trying to pressure you. I will not be trying to pressure you to list or anything like that. In fact, I have a new special report called How to Sell Your Home Yourself for the highest possible price without paying a big commission. It is very informative, and I will bring a copy to leave with you when I stop by. I can stop by this afternoon or tomorrow morning, whichever is best for your schedule. Guys, the key, and if you go to my classes on FSBOs and expires, is to get in the door. Get in the door, kill them with kindness, build a relationship. They're eventually going to crack. Okay? There are reports that you can download on the internet right now called How to Sell Your Home by a for sale by owner. We also have some for sale by owner brochures. Okay? I can get some to you if you need them. FSBO follow-up. FSBO successes in the follow-up. Put them in days 1 through 31. Call every week. Drop by with items of value. That's what you need to do. That's going to be in my presentation. Here's a just listed prospecting letter. Hello, this is Richie. Hello, is this Robin? Robin, this is Richie from Century 21. How are you today? The reason for calling, we just listed a property at 123 Main Street over in Salem, New Hampshire. A couple of streets over from your house. As a result of our marketing, we generate a lot of interest in the neighborhood and need other homes to sell. So tell me, have you considered selling your home? No? Well, would you happen to know of anyone else thinking of selling? These are just scripts that we use. Now, door knocking. How many of you like door knocking? Well, don't be afraid, because you can do that too. Here's your script. Hi there. My name's Richie from Century 21 Northeast. I'm not sure if you noticed, but we just sold a house around the corner, 123 Happy Hollow Street. That house ended up going for $19,000 over the list price. We had 5 offers. What that means to you is that there are 4 qualified buyers who are without a home. Since this house went for so much more than the seller thought it would, we now have a lot of neighbors wanting to know how much their home is worth. Did you want in on that list? That's just a basic door knocking script. On your to-do list, follow up, follow up, follow up. Then you have the perfect listing process. 7 steps to getting every listing. Preparation. Pre-qualification scripts. CMAs. Marketing plans. Listing agreement. Seller's disclosure. Pre-qualify the listing. Before going on the appointment, call the prospect and use the pre-qualifying listing script. Now, what is it? These are questions you want to ask the seller before you get out there. Before I come out, There are a number of questions I need to ask you. Is that okay? Number one, if what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home, are you planning to list your home with me when I come out on Saturday? Two, are you planning to interview more than one agent for the job of selling your home? Three, tell me again, where are you moving to? Four, how soon do you have to be there? Five, when I see you, how much you want to list your home for? As a professional real estate agent, I study homes and prices every day. Therefore, I assume you list with me at a price that will cause your home to sell. Is that correct? So what price won't you go below? Six, how much you own the property? Seven, have you ever thought about selling it yourself? Eight, will you help finance the home for the buyer, or do you want to cash out? Nine, would you please describe your home for me? 10, I'll be sending over the package of information. Will you take a few minutes and review it? And 11, do you have any questions before I arrive? I look forward to seeing you. Guys, I have these written as client qualifiers. I can get this to all of you if you need it. I'm going to make these slides also available on C21NE training. Hopefully I get it out this week, if not next week to you. Pre-listing packages. Where do you find them? Well, Toolkit CMA has pre-listing packages out there. Okay? You can mail that off to your clients or drop it off to them. It's only a pre-listing package. Over the next course of a few weeks, I'll be doing a Toolkit CMA presentation, and I'll go through that pre-listing packet with you. TNT tour and take notes. When you arrive at the home, ask for a tour and take notes about the good, bad, and the ugly features of that home. That's what you do when you go over there. Now, there's something called the Safe Island. What is that? Find a home. Find a place in the home, preferably the kitchen table, where there is a place to sit at a table with no distractions. Guys, why do you always go to a kitchen table? Okay, that's where all the decisions are made. I'm a two-stop lister, and those of you who sat through my listing presentation, I go over, I build a relationship the first time. Second time, I close the deal. Okay, but where does it lead me to all the time when I go over the second time? The kitchen table, because that's where the decisions are made, and like this says, there are no distractions. Presentation. Remember, FBT, feature, benefit, tie down. Get 5 yeses and go for the close. So here's what happens next. That's how you got to present it. You go over the CMA in NetSheet with the seller and agree on the price. That's so important. And then the most important thing is you sign the listing agreement. Nothing's left to do but sign the contract. And you got to overcome any objections. Remember, I'll be doing the listing presentation over the next few weeks as well. All right, we'll go through all the objections that you're going to get. Now, what if you're working with buyers? Most people today are working with the buyers. All right. Here's a situation where you have apartment tenants who are looking to buy sometimes. It says use the crisscross to call renters in apartment complexes. Let's just say you don't have anybody, but you have an apartment complex and there's all renters. What could your script be? Hi, my name's Rich with Century 21. I'm calling because studies show that most renters would rather be homeowners. They're tired of wasting their money and making the landlord rich. If you could rent a bigger home for the same or less than you pay in rent, wouldn't you? That's one approach. How else can you generate leads for buyers? Well, Craigslist mastery. You can create and construct ads on Craigslist. What you want to do is set up an account on Craigslist. You may want to use an alternative email created specifically for this purpose. Find sources for listings. You want to save photos. Choose 4 photos from each listing. Right-click the photo and save the image. Save in a folder where it can be found easily. Now, the anatomy of a Craigslist ad is it has to be eye-catching, headline with a good hook on it. Example would be school district, unique feature, bargain, HUD property foreclosure, low payment. You got to put a few good pictures, and it says don't put more than 4. Use a short description and a call to action and a phone number. Now, the Craigslist do's and don'ts. What you want to do is you want to post every day. Keep ads new and fresh. Use the best photos. Post at optimum times when possible. They're telling you to post at 12 and at 7. Why is that? That's when most people go on Craigslist, between their lunch breaks and after supper. Use ads to get calls to set appointments. Always include your phone number multiple times in the ads. The don'ts. Don't use more than 4 photos. Don't include addresses in ads. Don't focus on one type of listing or price range, and don't skip a day. Your Craigslist conversation. Answer all the calls immediately. Use the lead conversation script. Set an appointment to meet. Don't get caught up in texting back and forth. If you receive an email, ask for a phone number or don't proceed. And if they ask for an address, say the following: the seller's requested that I accompany all potential buyers. I can show you the home at 10 or 3 today, which is better. Then give them the address and confirm time to view. Now here's a typical Craigslist schedule. Monday you post 5 no money down ads. Most homes under 300,000 will work if the buyer qualifies for the program. Look for USDA eligible properties to post as well. Tuesday you post 5 lease with the right to purchase. Remember, it's what applies to you. Okay? So any type of eye-catching ads you can schedule on Craigslist. Just another option for you to market. And I just pulled up something, what it should look like. Let's talk about floor duty, phone time, opportunity time. Okay? Be prepared. Use a script. Get the appointment. That is your goal. Your goal is not to stay on floor time and answer the phone and say, yes, that house, it's under agreement. Goodbye. You got to work floor time. That's your time. And I know the phones don't ring a lot in these offices, guys. But if it does ring, make sure you use it effectively. Here's an incoming lead conversation script. Thank you for calling Century 21. How may I help you? I'm calling about a home on 123 Happy Street. Oh, yes. That must be a great home. We got a lot of calls on it today. When would you like to see it? I just have a question. About it, they say. Okay, let me pull it up on the computer. Can I get your name and number in case we get cut off? I'm pulling the information up now. How long have you been looking for a home? How many homes have you looked at? What methods are you in finding your homes? Are you working with a realtor? Are you renting or buying your home? All right, I have pulled it up. It really looks like a great house. What would you like to know? How much is it? It's so-and-so. Is that the price range you're looking for? Yes. Great. We should go see it before it's gone. I can arrange my schedule to meet you today around 3 or 4. Which is better for you? 4 is best. Awesome. I will schedule this one and a couple more in the neighborhood like it. I'll call you back once I confirm the showings. By the way, are you paying cash or will you be financing it? Financing, no problem. I will get someone to call you and take care of that before 4 o'clock. I will call you back. You know, it's just a simple script, but it's going to go into a little bit more in details. Okay, guys, but it's just what you can use when someone is calling in. This is an internet lead conversation. It says to contact immediately, set the appointment. On an internet lead, it says call 6 times. Call on minute 1, minute 10, minute 30, hour 1, hour 2, day 2. Text, I just got your information from Zillow. Can you talk? Minute 1, hour 1. I just got your information from Zillow. Is it a good time to talk? What it's doing on these internet leads is seeing if we got a legitimate person on the other end that's serious. So it tells you to make 6 attempts. Once you make 6 attempts, forget about it. It's no good. But call them. Dream makers and deal breakers. My goal is to help you find the home of your dreams. I want to make sure that I only show you homes that meet your specific criteria. I call these the dream makers. Of course, I also want to make that I do not show you anything you don't want to see. So if there are features that you want to specifically avoid, deal breakers, please let me know about these and I will avoid them at all costs. So let's start with the basics. Dig deep, find the pain. Tell me about why you are moving and what you want in a home. Okay, so these are just different scripts out there. Area of town that is a must. Is it important that we are in a specific school district? Which one and why? Do you want to be close to work? Where is that? Just to be clear, we want blank school district and not too far from your job. All this stuff, guys, is just dialogue. Be yourself. Now, when people want to see more homes, it says buyers will look at 100 homes before they buy. That's ridiculous, but this is statistics, what it says. It says if you let them. This is a huge decision for them, and there are so many homes to choose from. They are afraid that they will settle if they don't see everything available. As a real estate agent, you must know how to handle this concern. You will waste countless hours and dollars in gas if you do not control the sale. Allowing the clients browse on their own, agents miss buying signs, body language, opportunity to ask tie-down questions such as, does this feel like home, or can you see yourself living there? A buyer's fear will kick in. Even though this home may be perfect, they will want to see more because they're frightened. Do you ever run into this? This happens all the time. It's up to you guys to, work with these buyers, find out, as much criteria as you can, get out there with them. They say buyers are liars. A lot of them are working with other real estate agents that are out there right now. You want to get them to feel confident in you, to go with you, and you want to know them. Because the inventory is very scarce right now. When something comes on the market, if you know your buyers very well, all right, you'll be able to direct them towards the right house. Now, what's the process of a buyer? You got to find a home, submit an offer, negotiate the price. And if the offer is accepted, then when both parties sign and the contract is executed, deliver the contract and earnest money check to the title company to be receipted. Well, you got to bring it to the listing office. Send copies of receipted copies to your buyer, listing agent, mortgage company. Send a list of inspectors to the buyer. Insist to schedule the inspection immediately as to determine if any repairs to be done within an option period. Compile a list of desired repairs and complete an amendment to the contract. Write desired repairs in the section labeled in addition to any repairs. If amendment is accepted and signed by the seller, property will go into pending status. And if the seller refuses to complete the repairs, buyer may choose to exercise their option or right to terminate. All right. I'm going to be going through over the next few weeks as well the paperwork process that a buyer is actually going to do as they move on. Time is of the essence when it comes to inspections or repair negotiations. Number 10, it says when the option period is over and repair negotiations are settled, property would be in a pending status. 11, check in with the loan officer frequently to ensure you're on track to close on time or early. Speak with the closer at the title company and make sure everything is in order. 12, you're going to be waiting for the closing. And 13, the day of or before the closing, go with the buyer and conduct a buyer walkthrough. Make sure the house is in acceptable shape. Have the buyer sign the buyer walkthrough form. Okay? So that's just a little sneak preview of some of the things that go on when you're working with the buyer. Now, as far as the open houses are concerned, most widely done activity in real estate. Guys, you should be doing open houses right now as real estate agents, even if you don't have listings. You're going to pick up buyers. You're going to learn to talk to people. You might get some listings out of it. You might get some sales out of it. You're doing open houses for one reason only. It's not for customer service. It's not for exposure. It's not to sell the house. But this is what it's for, to generate the leads. Sometimes agents don't like doing open houses because they're getting poor results. Well, you have to be very specific when you're doing an open house. If you're doing an open house for someone that's been on the market for 90 days and they have had no one come into the open house, you really want to do an open house for someone? No, you as new agents want to do open houses for something that just came on the market that's going to generate a lot of activity. You did some research, found out that it's priced right. There's got to be a frenzy there on Sunday. You could pick up buyers. You could pick up sellers. Those are the open houses you want to do. Just because a listing agent's lazy and they don't want to do it, but they want someone else to sit there for 2 hours and twiddle their thumbs and do nothing doesn't mean that it has to be you. You want to get good results when you do open houses. That's important. This says, I have no idea what I'm doing. You should know how to do an open house. Okay? If you don't, come to my open houses. I'll show you what to do. But it's most widely done and done wrong. Most widely done activity in real estate. Most of them do it wrong. We hold open houses for one reason only, to generate leads. We said that. Stop trying to sell the house and start trying to convert attendees into appointments. Houses sell themselves. People that walk through, set other appointments for them. This is your pipeline. This is your lifeline. Most agents do not like open houses because they're getting poor results. We know that. Your objective is to not just get names and numbers, but to schedule appointments. That's what you got to do with the open house. You got to work them. How many times have I gone to an open house, someone sitting at the kitchen table? You know what they say? If you don't mind signing my guest list, take a walk around. If any questions, let me know. And they sit there and they watch the Patriots game. Shame on them. They're not working it. If someone's not working with a real estate agent, you should be right on top of them, walking around, asking them questions. Have you been looking longer? You know the area that well. Is this the type of house for you? If not, I have others. You got to work them, guys. Work these people. They're going to generate leads for you. That's going to make you successful. How to hold an open house. These are some ideas. 2 hours of pre-work for every 1 hour of open house. Choose the right property, the ones that are easy to find, accessible, that have great curb appeal, the newest on the market. These are the best ones. Make it easy to find. 2 directionals. Is that enough? More signs is better. I tell people, the more, sometimes a new agent will come to me and say, I'm doing an open house. Well, where you doing it? This street. And I know it's got like 4 or 5 crossroads, but you know what? The listing agent gives the person 2 signs. Is that going to help? No. Get more signs. Order your own. Or make sure that listing agent gives you enough of them. Invest a little bit of money into your signs. Use balloons, streamers, banners. Draw attention to each directional. I have one of those gigantic, I got it on eBay, gigantic directional. It's one of those big flags that you see at a car dealership. And I got it, it says open house. People love it. People could see it from like miles away. But I use it. That's, it's something I want to attract people to. Get creative. Pre-sell the event. Put a sign out in advance what time's the open house. Post ads on Craigslist, Facebook. Flyers to the neighborhood stores. Invite the neighbors. Invite the entire database. Post on 21 Online, Realtor.com, MLS. Door knock to the neighbors a week in advance. Hi, just visiting the neighborhood. We're doing an open house Sunday, 1 to 4. From 1 to 2 is just for you. Make sure FSBOs and expires get an invitation. It says 94% of visitors will have no interest in the property. Only 6% will. So what you're going to do is switch properties. Get a list of all open houses on that for that particular day. Give them other open houses to look at and tell them to use your name. Find the top hottest buys in the market area. By asking for emails to send more properties, you are losing them. Arrive early. Know the house. That's important. Guys, don't do an open house for someone and show up at 12 o'clock when the open house is at 12 and you have no idea where that what that house is all about. Make sure that listing agent shows you the house prior to you doing an open house. Know where you want to start and finish with each person. 40% of visitors will have a home to sell. Have a giveaway sometimes at your open house. Have entry cards. Flyers are ready to go. Just different things that we could be doing. Here's one thing that's a pet peeve of mine with a lot of people. Smile. Great greetings is important. Give your name. To get a name. Hi, I'm Richie, Century 21. What's your name? Give them a flyer. Ask the right questions. Are you looking for a new home for yourself? Do you have a property you need to sell before you can buy? Can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for in a home? Let them look. Show them the highlights of the home. Stay within an earshot of them. Answer questions as they come up. On your departing comments, can you give me a little feedback I can share with the seller? Is this a home you would buy? Go up front and ask them. I have 5 more of the hottest buys in the area. Would you like to see them today around 4? Measure your success, not based on if you please the seller. Success is based on how many leads you generate. Follow up within 48 hours with those people. Here's another thing that's important, guys, and that can help you out. Send thank you notes to every person you meet. You'd be so surprised how far thank you notes go. Make sure they're handwritten. Use the owner's name. Insert a business card. Use a stamp. Do you know thank you notes? People will open them. If you send something to my house and it's in a regular white letter, all right, and it says something to do with real estate, I'm going to rip it up. But if you send a little postcard to my house that looks like an invitation to something, I'm going to open it up. Thank you notes go a long way. You meet someone for the first time, send them a thank you note. You do a CMA, you're a two-stop lister. After you leave, send them a thank you note, letting them know you're in the process of going to meet them a second time to sell their house. Success in real estate. Schedule your day and stick to it. The bottom line is that you do not prioritize and schedule money-making activities. You'll be distracted by everybody else. What is success in real estate? Kiss a lot of frogs. You'll find that a large number of leads you generate, no matter the source, will not be ready to do anything immediately. However, you must keep talking to these people, placing ads, taking phone duty, holding open houses. You have to follow up overall relentlessly. 70% of all closings are a result of follow-up. Once you're on the swing of making contact and generating leads, you will tend to focus only on the ones that look like instant money. Other good leads will fall through the cracks and disappear because they were placed on the back burner and forgotten. Deliberate and consistent follow-up on all leads and referral sources will get you going. Track your results. Track how many contacts, leads, appointments, and contracts you have each week. By doing this, you will see where you're strongest and where you need to improve. Tracking your numbers is the only way to know for sure you're on the right track. Allow someone else to hold your accountability, hold you accountable on your results. Share your numbers with them weekly. Join coaching groups. Being involved into a coaching will provide you with an accountability and business advice needed to propel your business to above average levels. There's a lot of people joining BNI groups. Get together with your mentor, your manager. They're your coaches. They will have you move forward. All right? Getting you to the next level. Guys, this is what I did when I first started real estate. I asked a million questions. I was a pain in the you-know-what to my managers because I wanted to know everything. Many times the agents bog down because they're stuck in a process. A simple answer or a conversation will either do quickly and easily move forward. Ask an agent, manager, or staff member to help you get over the hurdle. If you want to be successful, be a pain in the you-know-what. That's what I was. Act before you think. Many agents have been caught in a trap of an overthinking, worrying about the what ifs will build roadblocks you do not need. Trust your knowledge, training, and instincts and go for it. You got to go for it. When in doubt, refer to the previous step and reach out for a helpful guide. Don't get discouraged. Guys, don't get discouraged. Don't ever give up. There's no doubt that it's a tough business out there, okay? There are times in the beginning when you'd be wondering what in the world you were thinking by getting into the real estate business. I say that every day I wake up. But you know what, guys? This business has given my family choices. The harder I work, the more money I make. No one's got to put the thumb on me and say, Richie, you made too much money in 2018. You can't make any more money in 2019. That's wrong. That's why I love getting up. There's no one in this company or in this industry that loves real estate more than me. I really do love it. We will be disappointed by bad leads, mean people, flaky prospects, and deals that do not close. We do that. We get that done every day. We have problems. Keep moving forward. Ask for help, coaching, guidance from your office staff, management, and fellow agent. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We have all been exactly where you are. The reason why I love teaching is I have been there. I have been broke. I have been down in the dumps. I've had no money coming in. What am I going to do? Sulk about it? No. One of the things I can tell you that's probably not on these slides is diversify. Know how to do rentals, know how to do commercial real estate, get your instructor license, get your, do residentials, do condos, do multifamilies, work with investors, do all that stuff. That's what I've done. So when one of those markets start tanking, you got another market to pick up the slack. Get that done. I'm just like you. I was average and ordinary. I want to do something great with my life. That's why I'm still in it 20 years later. We will help you, and everyone will tell you that it always gets better. Guys, this always gets better. Any questions at all concerning anything about real estate? I'm going to open it up to anybody. Did this stuff help you at all in any way? Did it motivate you?
Very motivating, Richie.
Are you excited about this business, Robin?
Of course I am. I've been doing it for 26 years and it gets better and better every day. My biggest question for these young kids that are in the market, starting in the market, is I don't think we have good enough marketing plans for listings. I think we need to come up with something company generated that talks about using like AdWorks, just different things so they can present a good marketing plan, Richie. And I know you have one. So perhaps you wouldn't mind sharing it with us?
Sure.
Yep, because I think that's imperative for a new agent going out on a listing.
You're talking about having their own listing presentation and the process and everything?
Well, more so the listing presentation. Toolkit CMA is phenomenal.
Yep.
So, and it's very branded to C21. I'm talking about coming up with their own personal marketing plan that they will create for a potential seller. And, you know, I see too much blah, blah. I see agents not doing enough, agents doing too much, or I really feel as if as a company, we can probably put something out there, Richie, that may help the agents decide what they might want to do to market a property when they go out on that second presentation, as you said.
Right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a lot of stuff. I stopped posting a lot of stuff on C21 Any Training.
Okay.
For workbooks and different things that might help out. Like, you know, some of the things that's always good. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to show you my screen real quick right now. Hopefully you can see this. I mean, these are some of the things that, you know, that a lot of buyers and everything don't, you know, when you're doing presentations out there, maybe they don't know the whole process.
Right.
You know, do you see that? Do you see the screen I'm showing you?
Yep.
Yep. I mean, some of these things are, you know, are helpful. I'm going to make a lot of the stuff that I gather, whether it's through the internet or I'm doing PowerPoint or whatever, I'm gonna provide to a lot of the agents out there just so they can create their own little package when they do go in their presentation.
Yeah, and I think more importantly, Richie, I mean, this is perfect, but I think the seller wants to know what are you going to do to market my property? I mean, we had an incredible 2018. In New Hampshire, it kind of died down around September, late August, September. I know in Massachusetts, you haven't had that same application, but we need to really convince them why they want to list with us because of what we're going to do to help market their property. Because it's a little bit more difficult now, Richie, in New Hampshire.
Right. Right.
So we'll come up with something. You and I can talk tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely come up with something. You know, I have, you know, at the beginning of the presentation, I also have a slideshow that I put on for the company, the overall brand of the company, which is always
Right.
good to use. But you know, I'll try to put some nice material together, and maybe people can go onto the website and start picking and choosing to put their package
Are you
in.
gonna wear a
Okay.
collared shirt tomorrow? Or are you gonna wear it on?
And I think
collared shirt?
AdWorks is important. I mean, it depends on the, it depends on the price point too, Rich.
Yep.
Yep.
Like I
Yeah,
have.
and AdWorks is always good. And those of you who are not familiar with AdWorks, you can go on 21 online and get some information on that too.
Delladillo. Where is he from?
Yep, and I'll also find Home and Estates,
Maybe he is
Richie.
original.
That's correct.
Yep.
Buying Home and Estates on there as well. You got an exquisite home that you want to market in a different way. It's always good to it's always good to come up with something unique that the seller can say, wow. This is what separates Century 21 Northeast from the rest of them.
Yep. Hey, Rich, are you going to send us this PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Great.
I'm gonna send you the PowerPoint. I'll have all the different scripts and everything on it. I'll let you know when it becomes available. I just recorded this as well, so you guys are aware of that.
Great.
So it will be. I'm gonna stop it right there.